Well, I hope after the whole day meditating and be mindful, maybe the one or the other bone is hurting a little bit, but I hope that in your heart you feel somehow a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit finer. That's what we all like to be. We like to feel fine, we like to feel good, we like to feel comfortable, and we don't like the opposite of them. That's normal and that's okay. And all our efforts every day has only, or more or less, really has only the purpose to make us happy, to feel us comfortable, to feel us fine. We go to work, we earn money, we spend it for things or paying bills, to feel fine or to not feel uncomfortable. And most time that works. So we are successful with our striving for feeling good. Unfortunately, not always. And for sure, not for permanence. So it takes some time until it goes away, and you have to take new efforts to get happy again. And we can see how it doesn't work. We see it in our environment. We see it in the world outside. There are so many crises. There are so many wars actually. And that's just because people think if I try a little bit harder, if I do a little bit better, if I look harder for myself, I will become happy. And if I could get rid of this and this, all the things that it's unpleasant, all the people that they think they are unpleasant, if I could just put them off, then we would be happy. And we see it actually so well in the world. It doesn't function at all, really not. But we learned this from little child. We learned this that makes you happy. You have to go to school. You have to got a good job to earn a lot of money. Then you can buy everything you like, and then you'll be happy. But if you buy a new car, you don't get happiness. You get a new car. But that's what's in the ads, advert. How do you say advert?
Ads.
At the ads, what they are telling. If you have this, then you are happy. And but if you get a car, you got a new car. If you get a new dress, you get a new dress. You feel happy for, 5 minutes, maybe a day, and then it's just another dress that you have. And it's not made to make us happy. They don't have the power to make us happy. But as we are so educated to believe this, we try and we try and we try. But it doesn't help against impermanence. It doesn't help against we're getting older, we're getting sick, we will die one day, and nothing of all these things will help for this. Before the Buddha became awakened, he was a prince. He had a quite luxury life. He had a beautiful wife. He had 3 palaces for every season, one for the winter, one for the summer, one for the rains. And he really had a beautiful life, but he was very compassionate. And when he realized no one can get rid of sufferance, of getting old, of getting sick, of dying, it makes him feel so bad. And when he was 29, his wife gave birth to a son. And when he looked at his son, he really loved him. And it was so painful for him to think about he can protect him for suffering. He has no chance. It was so bad for him that he decided he leaves his family and will find a way how to overcome sufferance. There was a rumor in old India, there must be a way, but no one knew it. But there must be a way. And it took 6 years of practice, of trying wrong ways, of finding it, that finally in the night of his enlightenment, he overcome sufferance. And he formulated the 4 noble truths, which tell us this is the problem, this is its cause, and this is its solution. And that's what I like to talk about this evening. I'm going to read you what the Buddha said exactly, so what he said. The Blessed One said, "This, monks, is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering. Aging is suffering. Illness is suffering. Death is suffering. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair are suffering. Association with the unpleasant is suffering. Separation from the pleasant is suffering. Not getting what one desires is suffering. In short, the 5 factors of clinging are suffering. This noble truth of suffering is to be understood. So, in the first noble truth, the Buddha tells us to examine suffering. That's not our usual way how to treat unpleasant things. Our normal way to treat unpleasant things is to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, to get rid of it. If you can't not rid of it, at least ignore it, to distract us so that we just don't see it. And we are all world champions in distracting us. That's why cell phones are so dangerous. That's the perfect tool for distracting. But not only cell phones or internet or social media with this obvious, that's just as distraction, but also often hobbies, socializing, music, radio, all this serves that we don't have to look on these things that we don't like, to get distracted from it, so that we can ignore it. Of course, ignoring it doesn't function at all, maybe for some time, but you can ignore it for a time, but it comes back and it comes back and it comes stronger and stronger, and that's really no way of get rid of it like this. So the Buddha said, just look at it. You don't need to get rid of it. You don't need to avoid it. And it's not useful at all to ignore it, but look at it, examine it. What is so bad about the unpleasant things? Why can't we stand it? Why can't we just say, okay, nobody told us when we have been born, you will have only nice feelings. If there are 50-50, you're very well done. But you say, okay, you never complain. Why do I have so many nice feelings? No one ever complain. But if we have a little bit of uncomfortable feelings, we feel, oh no, why me? Why always me? Or why not you? Why not you? So he said, look at it, really look at it. And in English, the word understand, it's stand under. So we should really step into, to stand under it so we can look at it. What's that above us? What's that exactly? What's the problem on it? Why am I so afraid of it also? Of unpleasant things, of unpleasant feelings. What is so difficult about it? When we do this and we find a way to look at the unpleasant things and to examine them and look at it, we find out they are not so bad as we thought. The fear of the unpleasant things is much worse than the unpleasant things itself. I think it was Mark Twain who said, the worst catastrophes in my life never happened. It was just in my mind. And I know so many people which got sick, and before they knew that they are sick, there were so many, they were so afraid of it. I hope it's not this, it's not this. And then they get the diagnosis, yes, you have exact this illness. And they just deal with it. And I asked them, how do you deal so easily with it? I would go crazy. And they told me, what should I do? I just have to handle it. Shall I make myself crazy? Shall I cry the whole day? It doesn't change anything. So when you have the things that you are afraid of them, they are not so bad as in our imagination. So when we really look at these unpleasant things that are coming to us quite often, and look, okay, are they really so bad? How much can I stand? We see we can stand a lot. And it's not so bad. And the more we experience this, that we can stand it, that we are stronger than we thought that we are, the more we lose this fear of these unpleasant things, and we can let them come closer and closer and say, okay, I'm not afraid of you, you're coming, I know you are going anyway, because all things are impermanent, also the unpleasant things. So come here, have a cup of coffee, and bye-bye. So we learn that dukkha, that the suffering, it is not our enemy. When we really look at him, we see that's our best friend. Because the reason why we are suffering is he tried to show us what we are doing wrong. Not to harm us, not at all. To make us stop doing it. So we come to the second noble truth, to the origin of suffering. What is really the reason of suffering? The blessed one said, "These monks is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. It is this thirst that sows rebirth, that is wound up with satisfaction, that delights here and there, namely thirst for sensory contact, thirst for existence, thirst for non-existence. This noble truth of the origin of suffering is to be overcome." So the cause of our suffering are not the unpleasant things or the unpleasant situations or the unpleasant people who don't behave like we would prefer. They behave like they prefer. The reason for our suffering lies here in our hearts. It is our desires, our wishes. Things have to be like this, and not like that, and that. It lies in our wish for sensual contact. We like beautiful images, nice music, nice smells, tasting good food, as today. Feeling nice physical contact, and especially we want to treat this and repeat this with our mind. That's the biggest distraction factory of all. Cell phone isn't so bad as what this one here can do. But that's not the only thing. Also, if we have the choice between unpleasant sensual experiences and no sensual contact at all, we chose the unpleasant. We can't stand it not to feel anything. They did an experiment for astronauts because in space you really don't have those contacts to train them, and they put the astronauts in a room. There was no gravity, there was no colors, everything was grey, no sound, no smell, just no sensual contact. And the guy who could stand it for the longest time, he lasted for 40 minutes until he said, "Let me go out of here." And most that did this training in the beginning, they said after 3 minutes, "I can't anymore. Let me please go out." We can't. We need this to confirm we are here, we are existing. And if you get rid of this confirmation, that's somehow very, very difficult for us. So better bad contacts than no contacts. But that's the first desire which causes suffering. We also want to be something. Absolutely want to be something. What we want to be, that differs from person to person. But there's no person who says, "Oh, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me if I'm a good person or a clever person or a beautiful person or powerful or educated. There are so many games people are playing to how they want to be, how they want to appear, and also for themselves, for their self-picture that they have, how they are. Normally people aren't as good as their self-picture. We are very, very good in making ourselves better than we are and to lie to ourselves. Because we can't stand this. That's for us we are social beings, and it's what other people think about us and also what I think about me. That's so important for us. That's like a kind of survival that we need, or we think we need. But we don't only want to be something. There are also some things that we want to be not this or different. So there is I don't want to be like this and this. And I don't like if I have things in me that I don't like. That I would like to be different than I am. And sometimes we don't want to be at all. Especially when things go wrong, real wrong, and we don't see any possibilities how to fulfill our desires. That we came up with wishes like, I wish I was never born, or I wish I don't want to live anymore, not like this, and I don't want anymore. So these are these desires which are driving us through our life. We are the slaves of those desires. But we don't have to. It was our decision. We can say, no, I'm not your slave. And that's how to get to the third noble truth of the cessation of suffering. What I did, no. The Blessed One said, this, monks, is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. It is the complete destimulation and cessation of this thirst, the abandoning of it, the letting go of it, the detachment from it, no longer clinging to it. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering is to be realized. So, and when we know the problem or our desires, where is the button to switch them off? We won't find it. Unfortunately, it's not so easy. That's not possible. We cannot decide what we want. We can do what we want, but we cannot want what we want. And the influence on what we want is so limited. So it's not possible just to say, okay, I have the desire, switch off, I don't have it anymore, it is still here, we have to deal with it. So the Buddha, he don't say, get rid of it, he say, just watch it, just get detached of it. Don't grab it, don't cling to it, just watch it. This desire is here. I want this and this, or I don't want this and this. And things are impermanent, our feelings are impermanent, also our desires. are impermanent. Just watch them coming, going. Impermanence, unfortunately, doesn't mean they only last for a second. They can last quite long. It depends how long we build them up. Also, we had it today with how to handle with difficult, strong feelings, and you can't just watch it for a minute and so now go. It isn't so fast. It isn't so fast. But you can learn patience, watch them, try not to clinch to it, and the more you train this, the easier it gets. And very, very, very important, don't try to resist them. To say, okay, this desire is here, no, I have to fight against it. So just watching it, don't try to put them off. It won't function. Because they are not going away, they just become unaware. And the most dangerous things are those things that we are not aware. Because at that moment, when we're, how do I say this in English? I'm just distracted. Mm-hmm. They come from the back. Yeah, no! Yeah. And I just didn't look at it. They come, yeah, yes, now, boom. And they are sometimes quite strong. And then you are standing here. What the hell was that? What the hell came here out of my mouth? What the hell was I doing here? And I even saw it coming. So he really, the Buddha really recommends, do not suppress anything, but just watch it. It's okay that they are here. There's nothing wrong about it, but don't put them away and don't keep them here. Sometimes it's a good idea, I think, that we tell the pleasant things. It's okay if you go, a little bit like, yeah, go. And to tell the unpleasant things, yeah, come here, come, stay. So we get more used to, so we do the opposite of this, what we are used to do. So it's easier to letting them go. But don't do it too much. As we don't just can let go of our desires, what should we do? Because also watching, how do we do this? So the Buddha gave us in the Fourth Noble Truth a way how to follow, what to do to get rid of them. The Blessed One said, "This, monks, is the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. It is this very noble eightfold path, namely right view up to right concentration." I will explain every step, so I don't mention now every single step. This noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering is to be unfolded. So, as we can simply just switch off our problems. He gives us a step-by-step instruction how to do it. Different ways to get from different sides on the same problem. It starts with the correct view. And the correct view is the knowing of the Four Noble Truths. To know the problem is not outside of us. The problem is not the things, not the world, not the people, not the husband, not the wife, not the chef, whatever. The problem is here. And here we can also find a solution. So there's no need to blame anyone. And we come to the second step, to the right intention. There's no need to hurt anyone. There's no need to get the intention to hurt anyone. The intention of ill will. The intention of violence. So you have to be like I think it's right. And there's a lot of violence that we don't see. We always think violence, that's when people get really rude, they're hurting themselves by words or actions. But also when I think, no, it's not okay how you are. I would like that you are different than you are. How can I manipulate you to be like I wish? That's a kind of violence. I don't accept the other person as she is, and I say, you have to be different. I don't. And you have to be like I think it's right. And we are 8 billion persons on this planet, and we have 8 billion views what is right. So, no chance. No chance ever. And of course, the intention not to be cruel, not to be if someone for example, when you told someone, do this now, that's not good for you, and he does it anyway, and then it happens what you predicted, yeah. Right? What you predicted, and they say, hey, I told you. You know, but that's cruelty. That's cruelty. So we think we're a nice person, and we look a little bit closer, we see, often we're not so nice as we thought. We think, oh, that's not so bad, that's not so bad. Yes, it is. It's the beginning. It's the beginning in small, which grows until what we have in the world. That leads us, of course, to correct speech, to correct actions, and to correct livelihood. So if you have the intention, no one to hurt, no one to harm, to be kind to anyone, you don't gonna kill anybody, or you don't gonna steal or take things from others that you know they didn't wanted to give you. When these are material things, it's obviously, but sometimes we also take immaterial things from other people they didn't wanted to give us. That we urge someone to do something that he rather didn't wanted to do, but he said, okay, it's okay, I'll do it. Or that you're talking to a person and talking and taking the time of this person, but this person didn't want to give that. And it's maybe too nice to say, it's enough now. It's my time, the time that you're wasting here. So there are also some more subtle things that we sometimes take things of other people that they didn't want it to give us. And of course that we don't earn our money by hurting other people or producing things that are hurting other people. My teacher was a comedian, and she always thought that's a good job. I make people laugh. That's a good thing. And she worked on a crusade, and she was playing like a student who was very unskilled, and he should change the lamp, and she was standing on the tables from the guests of the ship, and trying to, and it must have been very, very, very funny how she did it. And there was a woman, she laughed so much, she was crying, she didn't get air anymore, she fell from her chair, crying, please stop, I can't anymore, please stop. And she really was afraid that she got a health problem, because you can die of laughing. That's possible. That you can't breathe anymore, you know. And she really was scared. And she said, what am I doing here? You know. And after all, you just help the people to distract themselves. That's also a little bit, that's why she quit the job and become nun. But so also sometimes jobs there where you think, yeah, that's nothing bad. Are you sure? So I worked in a back office selling electronics, handies, television, fridges, all that kind of stuff. And I really loved my work. The merchants, they called me and said, I need this and this and this. I said, yes, I looked at you, got that. And if something went wrong, I really could handle this good when they were angry and were shouting at me and thinking, how can you be so stupid? And you know, and I really loved this, the job, the things that I did, but I really couldn't think about, what are you doing here? How many television do they have to put on their walls? Because every 4 times in a year we had a meeting, and there was always, we have to sell more. And I thought, you know, here are the wastes, the mountains of waste that are, we don't know where to go. And here are the resources, they are get short. And this destroying of the nature. But what are we doing? More. How crazy is that? So we can have a look on what are we doing, and is it reasonable? Or do we damage things or people? The next step is the right effort. Effort. Of course, you can only succeed if you constantly strive in doing to feed the beneficial and not to feed what is harmful. So you should feed the goodwill instead of aversion. the compassion instead of malice. Sympathetic joy, that's mudita. Sympathetic joy instead of resentment. Generosity instead of selfishness. Virtue instead of recklessness. Renunciation instead of greed. Wisdom instead of ignorance. Commitment instead of complacency. Patience instead of anger. Honesty instead of pretense. And determination instead of negligence. These are the 10 paramis. I don't know if you heard about them. To become a Buddha, you have 10 10 perfections that you, if you want to become Buddha, you have to perfect them until their highest level. We don't have to do this. Except if you want to become Buddha once, then you should. But you don't have to increase them until highest level, but you have to feed them. You need all of these qualities if you want to lead a good life. The next step is correct mindfulness. If you are not mindful, if you're not aware of the unwholesome things, how do you want to overcome it? And if we are training the presence of mind, we see inside of us what's still here as unwholesome things, and let them go. See, here I have to work. It's no reason to shame us. It's no reason to judge us. It's no reason to treat ourselves bad. How can we be so stupid? It's just Ayakema said, be aware of it, accept it, don't judge, change it. Just change it without any bad words towards oneself. So when we train this, it gets more and more easier. It's with everything. All the things that it's easy for us, it's because we trained it. We trained so long until we could walk. Today we don't even have to think about it, how to. But it takes a long time with writing the same thing, reading. So things takes their time, and if it's difficult, it's not because we are too stupid for it, or because we are unable, or we just didn't exercise it yet enough yet. So we go ahead and exercising it, and one day we say, wow, do you remember this time? It was so hard, and today, with left hand, it's all things is just a question of exercise. And this also. And we learn to let go. Mindfulness is the ultimate exercise in letting go. Because in mindfulness, we just watch the things, don't grab it. Just watch and let them go. And at the end of the path, we got correct immersion. Normally it's translated with correct concentration. Concentration, that this word has some kind of violence, of to push it together, and it isn't this correct concentration, it isn't that we push the mind on a point, but that he can calm himself, that he came to a rest, that he can just sit down, and now he stays at one point. In Pali it is samadhi. That sounds completely different than concentration. So samadhi is very smooth, and it's something very smooth. It's that when you train mindfulness, letting go of all the distractions, letting go of the unwholesome thing, letting go also of all the things that the mind want to look at it. You all say, no, ça vaut pas la peine. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, it's impermanent. Don't let it. It's not worth it. This also. He's okay. Let's stay here. And then he get calm. And when the mind gets calm, he can see, really see. And he see what is still to do, what is still, he gains wisdom to knowing of the good things and the bad things, how to treat them. And the mind, he's always searching outside for good stuff. And when he gets calm, it feels so good that he finds, oh, but that's the better way here. And it's always available. So the things outside, they're not. You have to work, and you won't gain everything that you wish. So that's very not sure if you can get. But here, that's always available. And if you find this peace and this joy that you can find here, you don't grab, and then it's so much easier to release all these things. To release the desire for sensual contacts, to release this desire for to be something or not to be something. It all doesn't matter anymore. Because you find peace in yourself, you find a place where you just feel fine. And that's what we want. But it takes some time. It's not so easy. So that's why it's mindfulness, it's very good, not very good. It's the preparation to go in immersion, to go in abandoning, that the mind learns letting go, and then it comes. Now it comes now. This I wish everybody of us, for you and me too. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.